YouTube, we are back with a part two, but not a part two of more books. We are with a part two from the original 6 books that remodeled my life and my mind forever. We have a question. We have a video topic question today by my dog 𝗧𝗵𝗫, and he asks, any memorizing or note-taking tips on how to retain information in books? Great question. Would you agree that a person who has basic focus on reading and wants to take the information could have more insight of just reading 3 pages than a person who read the whole thing without fully seeking information or lack of intent? Great question. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all 2 examples today. One example is a book that I read extensively that I didn't do any note taking. None, 0 in the book. No annotating, no highlight, underlining, nothing. And the second example will be one that I did a lot of note-taking, annotating, quotes on the side of my own, what I was going through, the relatability, all of that, okay? In the book. Number 1, Awaken the Giant Within by Mr. Tony Robbins. This was one of the first books I read after graduating high school, man. In hindsight, bro, it's so interesting how many strangers, people at the gym, co-workers, family who just like give you signs and omens that steer you on the blueprint that you've created, but you never told the world. It's just like they know this is something that this person would use. It's like you loving going to fish, right? You love fishing, but nobody really knows that about you until somebody started to look and pay attention. Maybe seeing, your background on your phone, your home screen. You open up your computer, turn on your PC, and you have a boat or just water in the background. They'd be like, putting 2 and 2 together, right? And they give you a big fish tour guide book, or the best places to fish in the world. So when you travel, and right, you know what I'm saying. So they give you things that's suitable to you and your likings, right? So, Awaken the Giant Within, Tony Robbins. Flip through a little bit just to show y'all I didn't highlight nothing in this book. Nothing. Y'all seen my books. I highlight a lot. Okay? All of this. I read all of this. Every last page. Boom. Nothing, right? This was a almost 500-page book. This was really big for me after graduating high school. Even though I always loved to read, but it's very big for me. Now, would I recommend this? It probably will work for you. Or another you out there in the world. It probably work for you, right? What I did was I wrote down a lot of definitions. I'll show y'all. I wrote down a lot of definitions and meanings that I've grasped from different quotes and chapters in the book. So the first line reads, concentration of power. Controlled focus equals laser beam focus on a single area of your life. And the 3 steps to create lasting growth: raising your standards, change your limiting beliefs, and change your strategy. So a lot of this book is really, selling you nourishment. And I shout out Tony Robbins, for his motivational speaking and his voice and his tone, like how he controls the room with his tone and his stature and his voice. He does a great job. He's making millions and doing his thing, right? For decades, right? He's been in the game for decades. And him and Eric Thomas, I love him and Eric Thomas, top of the top tier. And Myron Golden. Y'all check Myron Golden out if y'all have it on YouTube. But yeah, I did a lot of writing. Of the note-taking I did on my phone. So like after I finished the chapter, I'd go in here and I'd like go back and I'd remember, like, to keep my focus quick and witty, I'd be like, okay, the 5 areas that impact humans most. What do I remember? Okay, the emotional mastery, the physical mastery, relationship mastery, financial, and time. Boom, off top. And also, a great way to increase your retention rate with reading books is being able to just put the book down sometimes. You know what I mean? Being able to have said book you're reading and it not really feed you anything. That's like eating tilapia. Tilapia is one of the most high, it's a very high protein food, but low calories. So you eat two fillets of tilapia, and it's like you just drank water for 35 seconds. You know what I mean? It's nothing, really. A lot of times during this book, put it down for like a week at a time. Thought about and implemented how to focus and control my time and my emotions more. I did that on and off. So I put the book down for a week, pick it back up. So now, what he's saying about controlling your destiny and what that means to have and fulfill a destiny, I am in it now. I'm grasping everything he's saying. So it's like talking to somebody, Smash Shine. It's talking to somebody and you asking them one simple question, and you have a little bit more enthusiasm with, your conversational skills. So you put that spin on it, and they go into answering your question, your first question, plus 6 more that you didn't ask. And that's because people are going to speak on what's first in their brain, numerically, right? What they deem as important, what they deem as a priority. So parents, their job is how they make their money and pay the bills, but their kids is first. Their dogs is first. You see what I'm saying? Grandparents first, taking care of them is first. So they're going to be talking about those things first to you in a conversation, because that's what they care about. And also, as we know, people are going to talk about themselves, especially if you ask them. Oh my God, they can go on all day. So being able to put it down at times and then come back to it so you can kind of have that more relatable, intuitive, intense feeling with the book. It's very important. Quote number 1. Everything humans do is to avoid pain or our desire to gain pleasure. Beliefs are like possessions, and convictions or simply more valued possessions which allow an individual to personally work towards either larger scale or individual completion of goals, projects, wishes, and desires. Beliefs are like possessions. Wow. And in the grand scheme of things, perceptionally, they're not even yours. They are not even yours. As I'm sure y'all have heard the quote, she's not yours, it's just your turn. Yeah. One would think that you would love and be in a unison with a person, a marriage, right? Until death do you part, right? Y'all both transcend at the same age. How great would that be? That'll be a literal forever love. But things happen. Sex, money, financially doesn't, physically, y'all just separated. Emotionally, y'all just snapped out of it. She's in it, but you're not. You're in it too much than she is, and she gets flustered and she wants to, shake you off of her everywhere she goes. She just, she gets agitated by that. Divorces, it happens, right? Remember that. The beliefs are like possessions. Remember that. Now, the second example I'm going to give y'all is this book right here by 𝗀𝗏 Maxwell, How Successful People Think. Man, I was all up in this book, boy. I was all up in this book. So going back to memorization and retainment, right? Retaining what you are reading. Listening has taught me a lot more than just talking. That's why you can talk yourself out of ideas. You can talk yourself into or out of an experience. Imposter syndrome, crab in a bucket. You can talk yourself in or out of it. Ain't that crazy? But if you listen and then act on what you're hearing, you gain so much more insight. Powerful. Something that really hit me that I always memorize is having your place. And I talk about it to this day, consistently. Having your place to formulate thoughts, your own thoughts. Just let them flow. And so in this book, one of the first rules to how successful people think is putting yourself in the right place. A right place with the right people around, with the right time, with the right ideas and the right thoughts will create the right results. It'll create the right results, the desired results that you have been desiring to get to. You've been longing to get to. So having that potion mixed in the pot, I prioritized it. I made it a staple in my life to not let my thoughts become too overwhelming to the point where I crash, I fumble. We're not doing that. We're not doing that number. So we rise. And then, lo and behold, I get my license, I get my car, and that's when I find the lake. A body of water is my place. Now, not a body of water that most people go to like a duck off. Quiet. Just hear the waves crashing, just hear the water. Sometimes I go, early in the AM, sometimes late at night, and I would see the moon shine on the water while the waves are crashing. I sit there and I just meditate. I'd breathe. I'd focus on where I'm at, present moment awareness, and I'd just be. And I would just, that transcended so much of my financial career and my mental longevity, Very, 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 very valuable. So as you can see, I'm all in here, highlighting, underlining everything. I'm all in here, creating a strategy. Hope is not a strategy. Underlining quotes. Wherever you are, be there. Be there. Keep learning, keep growing, keep looking at the big picture. If you desire to be a good thinker, then that's what you need to do. That's what you got to possess. That's what you are. That's what you are. Very important moment. Very, very important moment. So that's how I would mostly memorize and retain the information. And of course, I'd set it down. I'd go for a walk, go to the lake, go to any body of water, go to somewhere isolated and secluded, and I would just be. And I would kind of rehearse that. It's almost like a script, right? I would just rehearse that script and that information to myself, the quotes. And that's how I remember so many quotes too. I would write them down. I'd look at them. I'd say them about 5 times, and I put my phone down. And it's a rhythm, y'all. It's a rhythm like music. How can you memorize a song in 2 or 3 plays, but you can't memorize the main points of one single chapter in a book? You got to make it melodic. You got to make it fun. You got to make it enticing, upbeat, elevate the frequency of it. Like, there's a reason why people pay more attention to 808s on a rap song than the cello or a violin with jazz or, Beethoven, Mozart, classical type music. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference. And to bring everything together, yes. Once you read so many books, you see the pattern, you see the repetition, you see how chapters 4, 5, 6, and 7 are fluff. It's a lot of fluff, right? There's still going to be a lot of quotes, a lot of good things to grasp relatably from those chapters, but you can skim through. That's why some of the most wealthiest people in the world can read a book a day. They can read a book a day because they skim. They know the pattern, the jump, hop, leap, and skip of said books, right? The front of this says how successful people think. Change your thinking to change your life. There's gonna be a lot of quotes and mottos from other authors and from other poets, right? We get that. But the main message to pick up, is grasping the mantras. The mottos are cool, but having the mantras. So yeah, 3 pages for me is going to be very beneficial instead of over flooding with 3 chapters. I don't gotta do that. But that's because it's a skill. I've read so many books and I'm consistently reading. Like I'm about to get into audiobooks just to do something different, just to spice it up. Like I love, like I said, I love hardback books, man. I love this. I love just grabbing it and boom, really feeling it like it's with me. But whatever helps you. You know how you learn. You know how you grow. You know what you need to do. So thank y'all for watching. We will have a part 2 of 6 to 10 more books that remodeled my life. We'll do financially, subconsciously, esoterically, spiritually. We'll do all of those different topics. And I know that's going to help you guys. So thank y'all again for watching. I love y'all very much. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mental, mind, body, spirit. And always, just be simple. It's JB, and I'm out.